Do it to just change your head, you know, like.
So it's like once a month.
Yeah, or once whenever I can get it, you know. It's not something I really
Give me $200. I'll go back to it.
Not really something I actively seek out. It's something that like I do when it becomes available.
Right.
But I don't continue to do it, you know, unless it continues to be available. And then I know when to stop too. Like I know after, if I'm doing it every day for like 3 or 4 days, I know it's time to stop, you know.
Mm-hmm. So I was told that there's stories. And that she supposedly has the best stories of all.
Well, she's got some stories.
She's got some stories.
Yeah,
How do you know she's got stories and you're not in the stories?
No, neither one of us are in the story. She's got crazy stories about growing up stories.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what do you got?
Yeah.
So I was raised extremely religious, right? I've never gone to school on a holiday. I've never celebrated Halloween in my life.
What religion?
Just Christian.
Mm-hmm.
My mom thought God talked to her. My mom thought God talked to her, blah blah. And then so we never watched TV. I wasn't allowed to like have anything secular of the world. Anything that was of the world was ungodly. And when I was a kid, my mom signed over parental rights to a cult. It's called Heartland Christian Community.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually look it up online. It's in Bethel, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
It's a religious compound. We have 50 houses where you can go move your families to. We have a girls' dorm, a boys' dorm. We have a men's program, women's program. We provide milk to the state. We have our own airport. We have our own water tower. We have our own lodge. We have our own restaurant. It's 40 miles from anywhere. And once you're there, you're there. So you can move your family there, you know. Or
Did you live there?
Yeah, my mother signed over her rights. She gave me to them.
So you literally
4
left.
days before Christmas, she gave me to them.
How old were you?
Shit, I was like 10.
You were like 10. Did you understand what was going on?
Yeah, I knew what was going on.
Yeah. And so you lived with your mom, and then all of a sudden she signed you
my
over.
mom, and she was a wingnut. And then she signed me over to that cult. See, my father passed away when I was really young, and she thought God talked to her and whatnot. And then she thought God put like this other man in his life. And see, this guy like wrote Christian music. He wrote Christian music, toured around, did CDs, whatnot, blah blah, crap, right? As soon as my mom married him, see, my father passed away, right? And then so she.
What'd your dad die of?
He was electrocuted to death. So and then so she married this guy, right? And my mom don't believe that in divorce. So as soon as she married this guy, from that night, he started beating the shit out of her. He bit my mom's nose from like here, almost off. Picked her up by the neck and tried to break her neck. He beat the shit out of my mom like daily. He'd molest us girls, and my mom would say that there's demons in him, and that it wasn't him, and that there's actually demons inside of him. So we'd go to church and whatnot. And then after all that shit, you know.
Were there drugs? Did you say there were drugs in your?
Hmm?
Was there drugs in your house or no?
Oh no,
No,
but my
no
mom,
drugs. But she was.
I just like my mom's like, I just went home and got sick and whatnot. My mom took care of me, and I shoot up in front of my mom now. My mom's like went through this whole like change. She's a total atheist now, like crazy. Anyway, so she sent me over to this cult, right? First time I hitchhiked, I was 12 years old. I ran away from my cult. I jumped out the fucking window and started running. And see, my cult has like, we have our own airport, so they fly. I could see them flying overhead and whatnot. It's the coldest day of the year, blah blah, crap. Anyway, long story short, when I was 12, right, and I got taken out of my cult for child abuse. And see, because my mother signed over her parental rights to this place, when the state came and took me out, my mother had no rights. I went into the system, so I did 4 years in girls' residentials because I wasn't eligible to be in foster care because I had run away. So I lived in girl residential lockdowns. So every time I fucking got a chance, I'd run away. So I'm like, I'd run away, 12, 13, 14. I could never stay away that long because, of course, I'm a young girl on the streets and I'm gonna get caught. But I was stealing computers at 14, stealing computers in St. Louis from Walmart with these crackheads. Like, they dressed me up, put me in pigtails. I'd walk out the fucking front door. These were $1,200 computers. This was when I was 14. They were in those big ass fucking boxes, right? So we'd take them down to fucking the ghetto in fucking St. Louis. We'd sell them for 8 bottles of Coke. And I was like 14, cooking up crack, smoking crack with these people, right? Anyway, they tried to they were gonna murder me one night. And then so blah blah, crap. Anyways, I ended up getting away from them.
I hate your stories, Kai. Your stories are worse than my stories.
I got terrible stories. Anyway, when I was 16, that's 4 years later out of residentials, my mother decides to find me. So my mother decides to find me, and she gets custody of me, blah blah, crap, right? Anyway, It's like January 1st. I've only been home a couple weeks anyway. And she told me, hey, it's a new year. Get the fuck out. She gave me $400 and told me to kick rocks. But she got me out of the system. So since I was 16, I've been living wherever. You know,
Did your mom have? Did you grow up with money?
Huh?
Did you grow up with money? Did your mom?
I grew up like in middle
class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, my mom received checks for us kids because of my father's death, and because she signed us away. My brother lived in a cult for 7 years.
How old's your brother?
My brother's 26.
You guys talk at all? Or?
Yeah, I talk to him. I love my brother. My sister is 18 months and 1 year apart.
Mm-hmm.
My sister's actually a mortician. She just did her 200th embalming. She did 4 years in SIU. My sister was, unfortunately, she never had to fucking go through like the cults or anything. She got to stay home. She got to do whatever the fuck she wanted. But my sister was smart. She just kept her mouth shut. My sister was weird as fuck. We'd go around and like pick up roadkill off like drive around, pick up roadkill, and we'd build fires in the back. And then we'd boil the animal bones, and my sister would take them all apart and like rewire all the skeletons. She's like major in anatomy. Now she embalms dead bodies. She's actually gonna do my embalming.
What does your brother do?
Oh, there's like I don't know. He's a massage therapist.
Why
My brother hates the world.
Why do you laugh? Why does he hate the world?
And he hates the world. He hates it. He hates people and he hates the world. My brother is smart. Like my brother is so smart, man. He's the smartest motherfucker I know. He's the only person in this whole world that I can have a conversation with about anything. Like he is the best person I fucking know in this whole world. But he's like very antisocial, fucking.
So your brother and your sister seem to live pretty conventional lives, right? They're like,
Oh, yeah.
have jobs, they have their own homes.
Mm-hmm.
They have kids.
No.
Okay, so why did they end up the way they ended up, and why did you end up the way you ended up?
Well, my brother, because they were smarter than me. Because I took like our lifestyle and I said, fuck you and fuck the world. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. And I'm not going to listen to anything anybody has to say, and blah, blah.
Punk as fuck.
Yeah, punk as fuck. Anyway, but my brother was smart. My brother was a smart one. See, my brother was like, he was getting his check for himself. See, after he got out of his cult, but when he was 14, and he was in there for 7 years, and he was in a different cult. He was in another one in Tennessee. Anyway, he ended up getting out when he was 14, so, like, he was getting the check from my father dying. We got $800 a month, each kid. And so he was getting his own check. My brother was like paying bills at 14. He had his own house, blah, blah. Once he got out, my brother was smart, man. My brother and my sister were smart. They knew to keep their mouth shut and not do anything wrong. And see, I'd do whatever I want. And I was going to tell you about it. I was going to tell you about how much I fucking hate you and how much, like, I don't agree with you. And I'm going to speak my mind. See, they were smarter than me. But my sister is just a manipulative little bitch. And then,
Are your brother and sister in communication? They close?
yeah, I just tried to call him yesterday.
Do they all live in the same state?
Actually, my brother just moved from Jacksonville, Florida, back to Missouri. My sister lives in Missouri. She works in Kansas City. My brother lives in St. Joe, Missouri. My mother lives in Trenton, Missouri, blah, blah. And then, yeah.
So how often do you see them?
I seen my brother and my sister and my mother in February. See, I got all strung out, blah, blah, crap. And I actually ended up going home. See, because I at least try to see my son at least on his birthday every year, right? Blah, blah. So I was sick. I got sick as fuck. I went home. My mom took care of me. So weird. It's so weird now. Because, like, I can shoot up in my living room. I shot up my mom's roommate, who she actually put him in prison. He went to prison yesterday. She put him in prison, blah, blah. And so now I can, like, shoot up in front of my mom. I can do whatever. My mom, like, went through this phase, that religious bullshit, right? Blah, blah, sent us away, crap. And then she realized that God really don't talk to her. And, in fact, God hates her. And she just had this whole meltdown. And so she started dating black guys and wearing baby fat and permed her hair and became an atheist and a fucking alcoholic, right? So now my mom's just... Now that's my mom, yeah. So